Hi, I'm on and on and on.
I'm Jamie Boybu.
And we are Father and Son Footy reviewing Liverpool against Chelsea. Ended 2-1 loss in Anfield last night. Jamie, what was your overall take of the game?
We were honestly better, and they took their chances, we didn't. And sometimes we lose. I was expecting a loss here. I'm fine with a loss here. We're playing Liverpool away. So I'm fine with the loss. At least we scored a goal against number one in the Prem. So I'm happy with that.
Well, like you're saying, Jamie, I completely agree with you. There's no shame in losing to this team. I think this team was much better than City. And I think that we gave them a game. We gave them a really good game.
They said it's the toughest game so far.
Yes, and I think it will be one of their toughest in the season because we really took it to them. This was not a game where we were only defending, they were only attacking. In fact, we were attacking for most of it. For me, the differentiating factor, the difference between us and them was age and consistency, as you can see from my white hair. I've been around, and so have the Liverpool players. They've played together for longer than ours, definitely got more miles in there under their feet. And even though
Cat, get over here,
Jamie.
Sorry, this cat is a little rascal.
Chicken here.
Like he's just exploring.
Well, he's getting entangled in the cables.
This cat. Ooh. He's
So
a little baby.
So okay.
Right now he's in a play mood. He's not in a cuddle, as we see.
Yeah, go.
He's just like
And so.
Just a second, guys. I'm just gonna. And
so, Jamie, I don't think it's a good idea to let him out because then he's gonna want to come in a second.
Give him a little space.
Well, these are the things in life we deal with. So I think that they have managed, like you said, to take their chances, and that was the thing. Colwell, who generally had a decent game.
Tosin was good. He gave away a stupid penalty.
All right, so let's talk about the defense. First and foremost, the surprise, Maresca. The Maresca surprise was that he played Reece James, and
it wasn't a surprise. I was seeing
and
that.
Not well. You're absolutely right. You called it. I didn't see that coming, and I don't think that worked that well. It was good to see Reece again, but this is not the Reece James that we know. He didn't have the speed that we know. Gakpo was giving him nightmares. He wasn't holding that line. He did not. He looked rusty. He just
came back from injury.
I think that goal.
He's getting better.
I think that goal was his
doing.
Thank you, Jamie.
It was an offside. If it would be an offside if he was on his line.
So let's go into a little bit more detail. So you have the defense all in one line. The attack before that, they were caught offside multiple times in the first 20 minutes, 30 even, right? So the offside trap from Chelsea was a distinct plan from Maresca, but to execute it well when you have an overlap on that right side, which is what Liverpool did. They had two players on our one. And what they did better is defend with their wingers and their attack. They came tough, but they did it, and they did it well, and kudos to them. They really defended as an entire team. Maresca has said it before, and Liverpool have shown the way you defend with 11 players. And they did that very well. So on our right, Noni, despite generally doing it very well this season, and being pretty good in the game, there were a few times before the goal that I saw them overlap 2v1 on James. James was caught not knowing who to cover, the closer player or the further player. If you look at that goal, you will see two things. One, he was very, very central, and there was all that space for Liverpool to exploit, which they did. One. Two, the defense was in one line, and he did not hold that line, and that's what cost us the goal. Okay, I'm talking about the second goal. The first goal was Colwell making a stupid, young, rash challenge on, was it again,
Joan?
the player of the match, Jones, which really came fired up to face Cole Palmer, which he did very well. And really.
No, Elliot. They put Elliot on the bench and put Jones in. He paid off.
Paid off indeed. And in that regard, that move by Colwell was not that good. Tosin was generally
That
good,
could
but
have been a
after
1-1.
being yellow carded,
He
it was not that
He
good.
got subbed off because of it.
Gusto, what would you say about Gusto's performance?
The left, he was honestly pretty good.
Yeah, because I thought that on the left he was no match for Salah.
Of course he wasn't. Salah is the best player in the Prem right now.
I think Cole Palmer is. But
right now, as in form right now, Salah.
Cole Palmer.
But as in the last
Cole
2 months, Palmer has been a lot better.
Look, player of the month is Cole Bloody Palmer, and that's just a fact. Now, in regard, they can't. They're looking at us. With regard to.
Okay, back to the video.
So, with regards to Gusto, he was, as usual, full of gusto, full of energy, running around, and I thought he was better on the right. He dealt with Gakpo better.
Shit.
That's pretty harsh. But moving in to midfield, what did you feel about that inkling we already saw in that game against Nottingham Forest, this idea that Caicedo can play with Lavia when we really need to provide
Lavia
protection.
Was,
Jamie was not. Please watch the language. Well, as you can see, Jamie and my opinions are different on this. I felt that Lavia did a quiet. It's okay, relax. Just keep
He's playing with the wires.
We were talking about Lavia. Lavia, I felt.
I didn't feel it.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. But can I say what I have to say about that? So what I'm saying about Lavia was that I felt that he quietly went about his business. He did what he had to do, and I feel that he was very good in that role. He ran out of steam, and he offered very little in regards to attack. Jamie wasn't that impressed with Lavia. What didn't you like about him? Oh, Enzo, yes. So in midfield, the substitutions that we saw was Enzo coming in late in that second half, and I felt that was really good. Enzo really provided that depth, that creativity, those passes. I felt that if he had more time, we could have gotten that goal, because when he was on that pitch, when Maresca made his adjustments, we were this close. I know that we lost, but we were this close.
For a second half. In the second half, late second half, from the 60th minute and on, we had the ball. But from that 45 to 60, they had all the possession.
So I think that if we're going to take what Jamie said right now about the ebbs and flows, that kind of vibe of the game.
We had it first half, then they had it for 15 minutes, then we had it again.
Yeah.
They took it. They took the opportunities.
You're absolutely right. I'm just going to add to that. I was starting to get itchy when Chelsea were having that real good spell in the first half, but not coming away with the goal. Because what happens when you have those good spells and you don't come away with the goal, you're going to...
Palmer's kick. So close.
Yeah, there were a few of those. There were a few of Palmer. We'll get to Palmer, but there were a few of those. So we're...
Palmer is in the midfield, so we can talk about Palmer.
Yeah, but I want to talk for a second about the ebb and flow of the game. And what I saw was that we had that, like you said, that initial vibe in the beginning, and then they just put us in shell shock. They just put Chelsea from that goal, like the attack before the goal, to a few attacks afterward. It was goal. 10 minutes that we just looked before the second goal. Yeah. 10 minutes in the first half that they could have scored 3. Right? It was just 10 minutes where these young lads, the Chelsea, were just looking completely shocked. And I think that was a good school to learn how to deal with that and come out from that. Yeah, we didn't come back from the win, but we came back made adjustments, and we scored a goal. We conceded a silly one, like I said before. I think that Reece James should not have come out for the second half.
Talking about Palmer now.
Yeah.
We're talking about players. Palmer, I want to be biased, but I'm finally not going to be biased on Palmer. He wasn't the best this game. He didn't take his chances. He didn't go into the attack. He was playing as CM. He was
Kudos to
took him. He didn't adjust. He played too much international England, playing him at the wrong position. He's just not used to playing in his best position again. He'll take time to adjust. In the Newcastle game, we're gonna be good. But stay tuned, cause in the weekend, I'm pretty sure Barca are playing. Barca Madrid, El Clásico. We're gonna make a video about that, and we might even stream it. I'm not saying anything.
So what about the wingers? But wait, you know what? Hold on. Before the wingers. Palmer needs to show consistency. You could see that he is that player. He is that star player. But they defended him with numbers. They had Jones on him all the time, and then they had another 2 or 3 players closing up all his lanes. They had a very Palmer specific plan.
Their role, they were just like, guys, if we want to win this, everybody defend Palmer so he can't get in open spaces. That's how we're gonna win this. Don't let Palmer get into open spaces so he can score.
I think that's half of the story. The other half is that, like we said, they defended like lions.
Good.
And I think that brings us to the wingers, because our wingers, Noni and Sancho, had opportunities, but they didn't take them. They did get a lot of this one-on-one play, but they were a bit isolated. All right. And you did see a lot of that beautiful build-up play from Chelsea. It was fantastic to see Chelsea going out and playing cavaliering football out in Anfield. It was great to watch. It was a match. But Neto brought into the left just shows how little faith Maresca has in Mudryk. I think Mudryk would have done better on that left with his speed against Trent Alexander-Arnold on the line.
Trent could beat Mudryk.
Look, I'm not saying Trent isn't fast. I'm saying that
No, I don't mean in a race. I mean technically he would beat him in a one-on-one.
Well, I guess we'll not know because that didn't happen because they didn't let him play.
Next time we play Liverpool twice in the season.
Let's put it in other terms. Maresca agrees with you obviously because he put Neto in. But I felt that Neto had a really
he played better on the right. The 10 minutes he got on the right, he played better than all the 30 minutes he got on the left.
Yes, but note this: he did try through the left. He tried through the right. He tried different things.
He tried inward.
That's what I meant to say. Exactly, Jamie. That
he played as an inside forward. He played as
and then you could see that when he got to chances, he was on his weak foot on the right. So moving him to the right was fine.
Trent beat him every single time he went inside. Trent followed him.
I don't know. I think twice he beat Trent. It was a good contest.
Yeah, but then Trent came back.
The same goes with Sancho. But the Liverpool faithful are going to say, and they'd probably be right, that look, what did it come to? Nothing. So Trent had it covered. He had a great game, another candidate for man of the match. And in fact, you can go through their line.
Badiashile, we didn't talk about him when we defended.
You're right, Badiashile. He was good.
When he got subbed on, he gave Mr. Darwin Núñez tried pissing him off.
It was good to see that. It was good to see the hubba bubble of Neto. Vega. Bumping chests with Salah and Núñez with Badiashile. It was good.
But it was better than Núñez. He was and so
our wingers didn't have a successful day in the office.
Was there and then when he had the ball, he played well.
It was a good game,
but when he didn't,
we didn't make it count. We didn't make it count, and that I think before we go on to that guy, we can say that. Nkunku on the left, what did you feel?
He was good. I think he could have done better in a different place.
What do you mean different place? You mean a different team against a different team, or do you mean a different position?
Different position. If Palmer,
what position would you play him in?
You put Madueke on the left. I'm being...
You like England? Madueke on the left?
I'm being England for a second. I'm putting Madueke on the left.
Tommy Tuchel is
putting-
not going to do that, but yeah,
I
okay.
know,
All
putting
right.
Palmer on the right and putting Nkunku in the middle.
You know what?
think
If that would have happened, I think that would have been a good.
I think you put
That wouldn't have been bad.
Modric on, put Palmer off, put Nkunku in the middle, put Madueke and Modric.
And
side.
we haven't said Joao Felix. Look,
Felix,
Palmer was great.
Where would he go?
But since Liverpool had such a plan, a Palmer plan,
Why not sub in Felix?
I thought
they
exactly
didn't have.
maybe
they didn't
let
know.
Felix have a go and do something different. But that was not to be. And Jackson, great goal. He took his opportunity.
He ran in, beautiful finish.
Can't
It's a
ask for
finish
more.
that it was a perfect pass, and you just gotta finish the ball.
And he did that, but he didn't do much else other than that. So
He
one
got a yellow
last
card. That's what he did.
a stupid yellow card.
He
Discipline, lack of discipline. Young team, they have to grow up. And Maresca has talked about that, and that has to
Palmer
be
was
addressed.
so quiet that game. Like, he did not speak up for himself at all. When they fouled him, he looked like.
I felt
whatever.
that it was a good contest. There was a lot of respect there, and the
Palmer,
English players. 1 second,
Yeah.
sweetie. And the English players did have that respect coming out of the international break. This is not the days of Mourinho and Benitez when it was so full of animosity. There was hate on the pitch. This wasn't that. This was much more sportsmanlike. There was a bit of, let's say,
Trent
aggression.
and Sancho were like, they tackled each other and they smiled at each other. Both England
Nunes and Salah were a bit grumpy, but other than that,
no, Nunes and Madison were laughing every time they fouled each other. They were just like,
but there was what you call shithousery. So last thing before we end this is the refereeing. I'm not going to start going about all the decisions that went against us. I'm just going to say there's a huge lack of consistency.
He made a mistake when it wasn't a penalty. Sanchez perfectly fine tackle. He gave a penalty plus a yellow card.
Can I take you back a little bit?
Yeah.
Their penalty. 2 attacks before then, there was something almost the same on Sancho. They didn't even go to VAR. Okay, so
VAR.
there's just
VAR.
I know I say VAR, and anyway the lack of consistency and the general level of refereeing in England is still abysmal, and it has
Italian's
to
better, Spanish is better, Bundesliga is better. I could say I can go a lot more. French is better. You get me.
In the meanwhile, next game we've got Panathinaikos, and I hope that we're gonna
Felix is finally gonna play.
I hope so.
Modric,
we're gonna do a different video on that. Keep the blue flag flying.
High.
Thank you.